Hi, Damien here from Affordable Staff, and tonight I've got Melanie, Dennis and Hayley Mitchell from Domain&Co and Eva joining me from Affordable Staff, and we're just going to have a little bit of a conversation about outsourcing and how you found it in Domain&Co. So I suppose, why did you decide to outsource?
Damien, I've been looking at outsourcing for a couple of years, probably about 4 years. It's one of those things that's been on my to-do list. But when we first, started looking at it about 4 years ago, it was a bit of a complicated process. I felt that we needed to go overseas to train the person. We had to set up their computer, and it was all, I don't know, just too hard, I suppose. Met you guys at a conference. Oh gosh, was it this year?
This year?
Yeah, earlier this year. Yeah. And had a chat about really how easy it was, and I guess 4 years on, perhaps from when I first looked at it, it just seemed a lot easier. So
it wasn't an overnight decision for you?
No. And it was nothing around being worried about outsourcing, or there's a lot of people that have, I guess, the stigma about jobs going overseas or whatever they might have. We had no worries about how that was going to work. It was just really the logistics of it all and the time frame of it all, and me having to go overseas.
There's a lot of unknowns. Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
So what about you, Hayley? How did you discover outsourcing?
Through Melanie.
Through Melanie.
So it was something that was on the agenda and she spoke about, and then all of a sudden she goes, "We've got someone in the Philippines." I'm like, "Oh, excellent." Surprise.
How we like to introduce things.
Yeah. But you've come from a different background also.
Yeah.
So you've come back up through the property management world, but also from a training point of view.
Yeah.
So it's something as an industry we all talk about.
Yeah.
So
it's a very hot topic at the moment, definitely.
Yeah. It's still actually surprising how many people aren't doing it. I thought a lot more people would be doing it. But it goes around the room who's outsourcing, and there's not that many people. And I think that
Do you think that's because they're afraid to put their hand up?
Maybe. I don't know. But in I guess an environment of property managers, why would you be?
And I just think they haven't made the leap. The fear of making the actual leap can be, I guess, challenging at times.
Yeah. Having I guess your own systems and your own back end in place has made a big difference to us in starting it, and having the continuity of ease of training. Just check out page 31 of our Bible, and I'll talk to you about that later. So that's made it really fantastic, and maybe a lot of agencies don't have that in place to be able to to think about.
So obviously
training.
you thought a lot about it before you actually took the leap into outsourcing. What sort of things did you do in your business to actually prepare, I guess, yourself? Because obviously you really thought it through before you made the move.
Look, I think our business is very systemised and procedure-driven, checklist-driven anyway. So we already had those things in place to be able to train a lot easier, and having procedures and systems in place to then help somebody new learn. And that's not just someone from outsourcing from overseas. That's for any new person in our business.
Exactly right.
Is always going to make a massive difference.
So you have Sunshine as part of your team.
Yes, and she is our sunshine. Yes.
So how have your local team found?
Great.
Found outsourcing. What pitfalls? What complications?
Yeah.
How do your local?
Look, we haven't had any complications as far as I'm aware. We've been very, I guess, open with our team in integrating Sunshine in and educating them that it's no different to having anyone sitting next to us, sitting in another office, sitting upstairs in our office. The Sunshine is just on the computer, on the phone, the same way as they are. And it's just educating them that it is just like somebody sitting next to you. It's no different, really, because she's there whenever we need her and how we need her.
I guess an analogy I quite like to use is they're literally sitting in the office next to you, but there is no door to the office. Yes. So how would you communicate? How would you interact with a person in that environment?
Yeah, that's absolutely right. And look, we have heard, some people say, the pitfalls are blah, but it's no different to any pitfall with employing anybody. It's the same thing. You still have to manage to make sure they're doing their work effectively, manage to make sure their work is correct, manage to make sure they have a day of work to be able to achieve.
That's right.
No different to anyone sitting next to me in the office or into the next room.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
That's exactly it.
So, I suppose my next question is, after 4 years, why did you choose us? Why did you choose Affordable Staff?
Met you guys at a conference and liked the way you did things. I spoke to a couple of other recruiting companies, and also some other friends of mine who are doing recruiting direct with the people overseas rather than through a company. I like the fact that you guys are managing the HR kind of perspective, so that sort of takes that workload off me to be able to manage that type of thing.
Of course.
But also, not every company has phone calls. Like a lot of companies won't do phone calling out on purpose. That's just their thing.
Model.
Yeah, and it, just the way that it's all come together and it's Sunshine is part of us, and Noelle we've recently employed as well, so we have someone on the sales side of things too. They're part of our team, so if they can't do everything that we're doing, it just doesn't make sense to me, I suppose.
That's exactly right.
Yeah,
Makes perfect sense.
Yeah, it closes off what they can do if they can't do all of the aspects that everyone in my team can do.
I guess my next question is, have you found any limitations working with Noelle and Sunshine so far? For yourself or maybe for your team in your office here in Australia?
Well, it's tricky for them to do letterbox dropping, open for inspection. These sorts of tasks is I guess, a great limitation. Yep. And one day maybe they might come and visit us and we can train them how to do that too. I'm not sure, no.
License, I guess.
Limitations, no. Look, their English is fantastic. Noelle is doing more phone work now than what Sunshine is, just because of the nature of what she's had to do, and that's been absolutely fantastic. The phone system that we've got set up through the computer is having no issues with delay or all those sorts of things. Their English is sometimes better than our staff, that sort of thing. So look, I actually haven't found any limitations except for they're not on the ground to be able to go out and do things, but that's not what their role is. So
I guess from an infrastructure perspective, it's so important to make sure that, I guess, we've invested a lot of time and effort in making sure that we have the infrastructure set up correctly on our end to ensure that you don't have the delays, you don't have the lag time.
Yeah, and we're not getting that. And, the internet speed's always getting better and technology's always getting better, so I can only see it getting better and better over time.
And the fact that they're both really excited. Like Mel said the other day, Sunshine, we're going to teach you something new tomorrow. She's like, I'm so excited, I can't wait till tomorrow. I'm like, what staff member says that?
Yeah. And then in the morning I get, I'm really excited to be learning today.
But it is, it's different. And she's got so much energy and she's a good part of the team.
Yes, absolutely.
I think a big difference with her is that we have integrated her into our team. We've really made an effort to make sure she's felt welcome as the team. Yep. She's not a back-end administration person for us, and that's, some companies do have that. I get that, and that's what they want. But Sunshine for us, it's very important that she is part of our team. So our team have their birthdays off, day off. Yes. Sunshine and Noelle get their birthdays off. They get a cake.
We get a cake, yes. I love the cheesecake.
Send them a care package when they start with, bits and pieces to welcome them to Australia.
Yes.
It's no different
to our meetings as well.
Yeah, we have them in our meetings, and that's something that they've appreciated.
Actually have them on our call?
We have them on the Zoom.
Team. Fantastic.
So we're using Zoom for the video conferencing, and they're there with us through our meetings. So
how have you found that with the team? Has that helped?
They love it. Yeah. And look, the things that their tasks are, some of them are to pick up the team on what they've done wrong. The team want to impress Sunshine. So if I say to them, hey guys, you've done this wrong, they're like, oh God, here we go, Mel's telling me again, I've got to fix this. But if Sunshine says, oh yes, what can I do, Sunshine, to fix that for you? So the whole integration has been really fabulous.
Fantastic.
I suppose, and thank you for your time. I just wanted to know, what would you say to another real estate property management sales business that's looking at outsourcing?
I think don't be worried about it. Like we haven't employed the team overseas to get rid of any team that we have in our office. That's not why we've done it. It's to add value to the team in our office so they can do things that are more client-facing and client-building relationships, while we've got the team in the Philippines doing some of the back-end things to help them out in their day-to-day operations.
And I guess that's the real purpose behind it. It's not to take jobs.
That's right.
To assist.
It's to assist and add more service to our clients too. We're looking at introducing a lot of things that we just could not have done otherwise. That's right. So now we're brainstorming, we could do this, and great, Sunshine and Noelle can achieve that for us. Whereas before we just didn't have the manpower to achieve it. So I think now, we can give a much higher level of service to our clients because they're helping the team do that. I think it's overall jump in and do it. Try and have your systems and procedures down, because that does make it easier. But if you don't, they will help you do it.
Yeah.
So if you're thinking, I've got to get my systems and procedures down, employ them to help you do that.
Yeah.
You know, and then overall,
And
it's
get them
going
to own the process.
yeah, it's going to build your business up and help you with employing any new stuff on the ground as well as overseas.
Fantastic.
Well, thank you, Mel.
Our pleasure.
Thank you, Hayley.
No problem.
So this is Damien from Affordable Staff, and if you'd like to find out more about how outsourcing can help your business, you can call us anywhere in Australia on 1300 139 482.
Thank you.
Done.